Okay, so we're going to start with 1 tablespoon of fast rise active dry yeast. Actually 2 tablespoons, we're doubling it up here. I'm going to get this one a little more rounded. You can never go wrong with a little extra yeast. I tend to like mine as yeasty and fluffy as I can get it with a nice crust. So, to taste. Next you add 4 cups of warm water to that and let those little yeasty beasties do their job. And we're just going to whisk that around a little bit. Not too much. And there's your yeasty beasties going to work. We're also going to add the salt. Get that in there now. I am 2.5, about the same amount of yeast as salt. And I know a lot of folks don't like to add salt to a lot of things that they make, but the bread really finds a good place with some flavor to it for me. And so there's my salt. And next, and of course I'm reading a recipe here and for easy perfect yeast bread. Now some sugar will go in here. The recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of sugar, and I am about the same on all the vices there. We're gonna just 2.5, let's just do 1/3, so 3 tablespoons of sugar. And I believe, let's let that dissolve, and then we'll start gradually adding the flour. So we're gonna help that dissolve along a little bit with some light whisk. And remember, this water's warm, about 125 degrees. We'll let that sit for a sec. And it should put a little foam, a little head on the top. And when we come back, we'll show you that. But bread's gonna take time to rise, so we'll cut the video in a few pieces for you so you can see, and you can see it kind of going in there already. You can kind of see this as it goes along. We'll be right back. Okay, so we're back now. It's been about 15 minutes, and you can see the foamy head on top there the yeast makes. Means your yeast is still healthy. They expire, and you sometimes don't know when your bread won't rise, so it's good to make sure something's happening, it's alive. So now we're going to gradually add 12 cups of flour, which is easier than it sounds. So there's 2. I'm going to go ahead and get 6 of it in there. Hang on. Let me stir my flour up a bit. There's 2. Oh. 4. Get ready for the avalanche. Okay. It's a good 6. We'll start with that. I just kind of want to get it in there and get it going. And you should add flour till it starts pulling away from the sides. So we really just keep it rolling to the middle. Keep it off the sides there and keep rolling it into the middle. I don't think I'm going to get 12 cups of flour in this bowl. Oh yeah. All right. There's a good start. Keep the mess as minimal as possible. You can see it's starting to. Oh, my spoon fell apart. There we go. It's starting to pull away from the sides a little bit there. So before it gets too messy and difficult to deal with, we'll get some more flour on it. Makes it a lot easier to handle, and once it's actually easiest to handle, it's done. So there's 8. 10. And that one was a little short, so we're going to stop at 10. Take a look at that. Just sort of get it in there. See that? It's all over the top. And go ahead.
Back to the do that. Do it very hard, make it like a new pizza. You mean pizza? Cheese pizza.
2 hours later.
Cheese. It's gonna be kind of rough, and it kind of hurts. You know, Sophia. It's like getting muscles. You know I love you, Sophia. Shh. Okay, guys. You guys are being quiet because my dad said, not you guys, because all the time my dad said, be quiet. So now I'm gonna be really quiet now. Oh, it's okay. I'll pick it up. It's on your radar, though. Oh, I see it. Fingers.
You gotta get your hair back. Get that in there. Just keep pushing it down.
Putting your dirty hands in on her hair.
She washed up. You gotta make sure you have clean hands and a clean
Make sure you
stuff.
always clean your hands before doing this. When you're gonna do a project like baking a cake, first of all, you always wash your hands. Yeah. Because if you don't wash your hands first, you'll get germs on it and you'll eat your germs. And you don't want to eat
you don't want to eat your germs either, right?
Yeah, because you'll swallow your germs.
You'll get sick. You have to stay at home and sleep.
Yeah,
Dun 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 dun.
Okay, well, it's looking like we're kneading it pretty good.
Hang on, let me do the rest.
It's almost time to move on to the next step.
Yeah, because I'm going to do it. Because I'm going to do the sugar. I'm going to do the sugar next. Because black. Because white. It's white
Okay,
sugar.
well, we'll be right back. You pick it up.
1
Make a...
hour.
Okay, so we've got our dough in a nice ball. Great job, girls. Great job. Yeah, okay, well, the next part's the really fun part. We've got a clean bowl, and I like the porcelain bowls, the glass kind like this, old school, and I put a couple of tablespoons of olive oil down in the bowl. So what we'll do is we'll spread the olive oil evenly throughout the bowl. So girls, I'm going to let you spread that olive oil around inside the bowl with your hands. Try to keep it in the bowl. Just spread the olive oil around all the sides and everything. Just
Like that?
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Ooh, yeah, baby. I think baby.
And then you're going to spread the olive oil all inside the bowl. Cover all the sides. You're just stirring up the bottom, all the sides, all the walls. Get the whole thing evenly. Make sure that olive oil spread out. Be careful, that bowl can break. Okay, let's turn the bowl
I
around.
see my face.
Just keep going.
Look at my face.
Okay, well, keep stirring around in there, good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to stop. If you can finish, don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. And you use this hand, and you use this hand. And both of y'all use that hand. Sophia, bring it over here. And both y'all grab the ball. And then, no, not this hand. Together with those hands, and put it into the bowl. Together. Y'all got to work together. Can't use your other hand. Not this one. Pick it up, put it in there.
Drop it!
There we go. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the bowl, the ball in the bowl. Ladies, if y'all will go wash your hands, we're good for now. Go on, go wash your hands, girls. So we'll kind of cover this with a damp cloth over the top, and I'll show you that in just a second, and then we'll let it rest for about an hour.
Wait!
All right, well, let's unveil our bread. We'll take the white cornmeal, sorry if I'm too close, and use that a little bit on here, just to kind of dust our platform a little bit. And I like the cornmeal on the outside. It really helps build a nice crust for it. Gives a little crunchy to it. All right. Okay. And now I'm going to try and get it somewhat there. Okay, and I'm just going to use a pizza cutter on this guy here. Sure, I can get a couple of even-ish. Oh yeah, forgot. We're gonna take a piece of this and a piece of this, bring it together and make number 3. And I'm gonna take another sliver of this guy. Looks like it's still a little big. You gotta make sure when you do it and cut the bread like that it gets in there nice and good. Alright. Okay. Weight feels good. Feels about even so far. I'm gonna make 3 even sized balls, or as even as I can get them. This one does feel a little bigger. Put that there. Oh, my hands are getting tired. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna do 3 individual balls, which are about the same size. There we go. And there we go. Look good. Okay. Now we're going to clear the area. Okay, so we're going to put them in there, and then we're going to get all 3. And we roll them out like this. I just kind of spread my hands as it comes down, and it opens up a little bit. I don't want it to tear, but you definitely want it to get longer. Stretching it out, letting gravity kind of pull it a little bit. You can feel the concentration of dough if you kind of roll it out and get it to spread a little bit. Real science to it, but once you get it down, you really want it to stay there a little bit. But the dough despands, I guess, or it shrinks back, it tightens up before it starts getting bigger. All right, well, that's good. So we're going to use a bowl covered sheet pan, and I'm just going to place this guy on here to start. Okay, there's the first one. I'm going to do 3 of those, just like the same way. And that one should be getting bigger while it's sitting there. And I'm just pushing down a little bit. Okay, I'm pushing down a lot. And it'll help you stretch it without tearing it. Sort of layer and mash it at the same time. I don't know. We did this for Thanksgiving a few years back, and it was a big hit. Everybody loved it. But it was, for me, it was just really pretty on the buffet table. Looks really nice, and it's a little impractical when it comes to breads. I mean, a standard loaf is probably the most practical. So when you make your bread, excuse me, you want the braid to be tight. The bigger the braid, okay, so we're about done here. Let me just go through and make sure it's about the same size all the way through. Alright, I don't want it touching, but laying it next to each other in the last one. I have to clean all my camera equipment off after this. I haven't done a bake or anything like this ever, so it's our first, because of the things going on in the world today. We were locked in our houses, and so the girls and I decided we would do a little baking. about to get to the oven. I'm going to go ahead and get my preheat on. But I like to let it rise in the pan after it takes its shape a little bit. Kind of helps it form together. And then later on we'll do a cold water wash. Or a boiling water wash. Hang on, I'll show you in a sec. Alright, well this needs a little, looks like it's loose and it folds. Probably one of the ones we pieced together. Alright, it's an easy fix, just gotta catch it before you bake it, otherwise it puts real bubbles in the bread. And we are already gonna get it in the braiding, or at least I get it in the braiding. Anybody want to put something in the comments down below about how the to reduce the bubble, please do. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's take a peek. Here is the 3 strips, a little longer than the pan. Got them ready to go, and now we're going to begin the braid. And then we can let it set. So let me get a good mount here for us. I'll make sure I have that in the seam. Cut out the fun part. Okay, so we're gonna put this right here, and then we'll roll these guys out. But first things first, we're gonna take them all off the pan, and we're gonna spray this guy. A little spray. All right, and then we're gonna make sure they're identical. 1, 2, 3 in size. We don't want any excess. Actually, our center one can be a little longer than the rest. But let's do this. Yeah, it's longer than the pan, so we'll just chop them all off and do a little side loaf right here. So we'll take these 3 pieces and we're just going to set them over to the side for now. Then we're going to take this, take one down the middle, and then we're going to put the next one next to it, and the next one next to it. And let me see. So first over. Wait a second. It goes there. Goes there. That goes there. And that goes there. But we can get a little more done here. There we go. Okay. And that is our guy. We can bring it in down here. And then you can tuck it in down there. I like the top part here needs to open up, show the braiding a little bit more. There we go. There it is. Okay. So we're gonna set that over there for now and let that kind of rise a little bit. And I have my damp cloth. I'm just gonna put over the top for a second. All right, now let's take out these guys, the 3 pieces that were left. And we're gonna do a mini, a little thinner but smaller. I guess mini. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring this down for a close-up so you can kind of see the braiding happening. I know the camera's blocked. The light's probably right on that thing. Here we go, let's see. Okay, perfect. Okay, so looks like I can use a little bit of this on this one. That looks like pretty even weight after that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna redesign this guy. He looks a little Oh yeah, my cabin fever 7 and 4-year-old daughters. You can hear upstairs just having fun. One day they'll be baking the bread. We can use this video to figure out how to do it. This was your class. You can catch it via telecourse. Okay, so there's my 3 rolls. Bring them in. Let's get this a little thick. Okay. Okay, so just like that. This one in the middle. We can put him right there. And then, wait, hang on, I'm not doing that right. I'm not the best braider. I don't have any braiding skills. All right. Good enough, and then we bring it in like this. Good enough, another little braid. Kind of has a better look from the side there. And there it is. So we take a look at this guy. And get our braid in. And get a good look on that guy. Looks good. It'll bake nice. Alright, so we're going to get our oven preheated and get them all going. That's probably, and I just watch them when they start getting light brown. I'll do a little, either an egg wash where I scramble an egg and just brush the top, or there's a little water trick we're going to go over in just a minute during the baking. But right now we're going to get these things in the oven. This one will go straight with the sheet pan, just as it is here. And the other will go in a smaller pan next to it. And kind of go from there. Alright, we'll be right back. Okay, so here's our pan. I've sprayed it down, and we've got this guy that we've generously doused in cornmeal and our platform. I want to make sure the ends are tucked in, and it is plenty of cornmeal and everything, other than my cutting board. I like the taste. It makes a good crust. So I make sure it's all over. Okay. Now we're going to do this one. Same thing. Make sure it hasn't separated crazy. And then just kind of hit it one time with a little cornmeal. Try to get it even. Okay. Okay. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll let it sit and rest 10 to 15 minutes like this with the cornmeal on and open. And then when it's done, they'll both go into the oven where we're ready to go and set at preheating at 350 degrees. We'll be right back. 15 minutes. Well, let's just snap our fingers. All right, so I'm going to do a little egg wash. It's just a scrambled egg with some cold water. Dab in a little napkin, and I'm just going to dab the bread just like this all over. Get our little guy here. Just dabbing it all over. Ah, yeah, making a great mess. Alright, well, my napkin's getting a little soggy. There we go, almost done now. Okay. Looks good. That should get us a nice little crust.